What's up, everybody? It's me, Mike Myers H2O, coming at you with another video. And um, today this is the documentary of Annabelle. And this is going to be the last video I make on Annabelle, unless it's something crazy, you know. But hope you guys do enjoy this documentary. I did not expect the nun and the Valak real life origins between them. So I thank every single one of y'all for watching that. Hope this one does just as good, if not better. So yeah, everybody loves Annabelle. Don't actually love her. It's not, no. But we got her right here. This is my replica. It's not the best replica, obviously, but it's a Raggedy Ann doll. That's all you need to know. So, but before I start off with the story and everything, so all the stuff that y'all can understand more about between the real life Annabelle and then the Conjuring Annabelle, because the real life is way different than the Conjuring. Oh, it's not totally way different, but it's a little different than the Conjuring universe one. But obviously I'll have different ones of the real life Annabelle and then the Conjuring one. Some of y'all could be like, didn't y'all make an Annabelle documentary? I kind of did in a way, because I was doing an investigation about, this, and I thought it would be cool, so but anyway, yeah guys, enough of me rambling on. I'm gonna go ahead and start the documentary. This is the full out documentary, not me investigating this doll. I'm not doing that. This is just a documentary about Annabelle, and so I hope you guys enjoy this. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching, and I really appreciate the nun. If y'all, some of y'all haven't seen that, I'll link it in the description below of the real life nun, Valak, the demon, and so yeah. All right, let's get into the action. The real life, the origin of Annabelle the doll. In 1970, a mother purchased this antique Raggedy Ann doll from a hobby store. The doll had been a birthday present for her daughter, Donna. Donna was preparing to graduate from college with a nursing degree. She lived in a tiny apartment with her roommate, Angie. A nurse is pleased with a cute Raggedy Ann doll placed on her bed as a decoration and didn't give it a second thought. Within days, both Donna and Angie noticed that there appeared to be something very strange and creepy about the doll. The doll mysteriously seemed to move about the house, relatively small movements at first, such as change in position, but as time has passed, the movement became more noticeable. Donna and Angie would come home to find the doll in completely different rooms. Sometimes the doll would be found with legs crossed, arms folded. Other times it would be found upright, standing on its feet. Several times Donna sometimes left the doll on the couch before leaving work and would return and find the doll back in her room on the bed with the door left back in her room on the bed with the door closed. The messages. Annabelle the doll not only moved, but could write as well. About a month into their experience, Donna and Angie began to find messages on parchment paper that read, help us and help Lou, the handwriting as if written by a small child. The creepy part about the messages was not the wording, but the way they were written. At the time, Donna had never kept parchment paper on which the notes were written in the house, so where did it come from? Annabelle Higgins. One night, Donna came home to find the doll had moved again. This time, it has on her bed. Donna had come to find that this was typical of the doll, but somehow she knew this time it was different. Something wasn't right. A sense of fear came over her when she expected the doll and saw what looked like blood drops on the back of its hands and its chest. Seemingly from nowhere, liquidly red substance had appeared on the doll. Scared and desperate, Donna and Angie decided it was time to seek expert advice. Not knowing where to turn, they contacted a medium, and seance was held. Donna was then introduced to the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. The medium related the story of Annabelle to both Donna and Angie. Annabelle was a young girl that resided on the property before the apartments were built. They were happy times, and there were she was a young girl of only 7 years old when her lifeless body was found in the field upon which the apartment complex now stands on. The spirit related to the medium that she felt comfort with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them and be loved, feeling compassion for Annabelle and her story. Donna gave her permission to input the doll and stay with them. They were too soon to find out, however, that Annabelle was not what she appeared to be. This was no ordinary case and definitely no ordinary doll. Locus, Lou's, Luke's account, Lou's friends was Donna and Angie and had been with them since the day the doll arrived. Lou had never been found of the doll and on several occasions warned Donna that it was evil and to get rid of it. Donna had a compassionate tied to the doll and not giving much credence to Lou's feelings kept it Donna's decision. It turns out was a terrible mistake. Lou awoke one night from a deep sleep in a panic. Once again, he had a recurrent bad dream. Only this time, somehow, something seemed different. Though he was awake but couldn't move. He looked around the room but couldn't discern anything of the ordinary. Then it happened. Looking down toward his feet, he saw the doll Annabelle. It began slowly glide up his leg, moved over his chest, and stopped. Within seconds, the doll was strangling him, paralyzed and gasping for breath. Lou, at the point of exhalation, blacked out. Lou awoke the next morning, certain it wasn't a dream. Lou was determined to rid himself of that doll and the spirit that possessed it. Lou, however, would have one more terrifying experience with Annabelle, preparing for a road trip the next day. Lou and Angie were reading over maps alone in her apartment. The apartment seemed eerie, quiet. Suddenly, rustling sounds coming from Donna's room aroused fear that someone had possibly broken into the apartment. Lou, determined to figure out who or what it was, quietly made his way to the bedroom door. He waited for the noises to stop before the entering, turning on the light. The room was empty except for Annabelle, woman tossed on the floor in the corner. Lou scoured the room for his entry, but nothing was out of place. As he got close to the doll, he got the distinct impression that somebody was behind him, spinning around. He was quick to realize that nobody else was there. Then in a flash, he found himself grabbing for his chest, doubled over, cut and bleeding. His shirt was stained with blood, and upon opening his shirt there on his chest, there was what looked like to be 7 distinct claw marks. There vertically and 4 horizontally. All were like hot burns. These scratches healed almost immediately, half gone the next day, fully gone by day 2. The Warrens investigate. Donna finally was willing to believe the spirit in the house was not that of a young girl, but inhuman, demonic in nature. After Lou's experiences, Donna felt it was time to seek real expert advice and contacted a experiential priest named Father Hagen. And Father Hagen felt it was a spiritual matter and felt he needed to contact a higher authority in the church, so he contacted Father Kook, who immediately contacted the Warrens. Ed and Lorraine Warren immediately took interest in the case and contacted Donna concerning the doll. The Warrens, after speaking with Donna, Angie, and Lou, came to the conclusion that the doll itself was not in fact possessed, but manipulated by an inhuman presence. Spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what occurred in the Annabelle case. This spirit manipulated the doll and created an illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host. The spirit, or in this case, inhuman demonic spirit, was initially in the infestation stage of the phenomenon. It first began moving the doll around the apartment by means of the teleportation to arouse the occupants currently, in hopes that they would give recognition of probability the mistake of bringing a medium into the department to communicate with it. And the human spirit, now able to communicate through the medium, preyed on the girl's emotional vulnerabilities by pretending to be a rather harmless lost young girl, with which during the seance was allowed permission from Donna to haunt the apartment, and so as demonic as a negative spirit, and then set about causing patient negative phenomena to incur aroused fear through the weird movements of that doll. It brought about the manipulation of disturbing handwritten notes, the symbolic drops of blood on the doll, and ultimately it even attacked Lou, leaving behind the symbol mark of the beast. The next stage of the Vestige phenomenon would have been complete human possession. Had these experiences lasted another 2 or 3 more weeks, the spirit would have completely possessed, if not harmed or killed, one or of the accompaniments in the house. At the conclusion of the investigation, the Warrens felt it appropriate to have revelation of an exorcism blessing by Father Kook to cleanse the apartment. The special blessing of the home is wordy 7-page document as distinctly possessive in nature, rather than specifically appealing evil entities from the dwelling. The opinions instead of directed toward filling the home with the power positive and of God. Ed Warren at Donna's request, as a further protestation against the phenomenon ever occurring in the home again, the Warrens took the big rag doll along with them when they left. A conclusion. Father Kook, although uncomfortably with his role as an exorcist, agreed to perform the 7-page rite of exorcism doctrine to read throughout the apartment, at which point the Warrens were confident the entity would no longer reside there. They agreed to take the rag doll back upon them, leaving Ed place the doll in the back seat and agreed he would not take the interstate in the event inhuman spirit still resided with the doll. His suspicions were all to correct in no time. The Warrens felt themselves as the object of vicious hatred. Then, at each dangerous curve, the car swerved and stalled with every corner, causing the power steering and brakes to fail repeatedly. The car reached conclusion. Ed reached in the back of the seat, his bag, and took out a vial of holy water and doused the doll, making the sign of the cross over it. The disturbance stopped immediately, and the Warrens arrived safely home. After the Warrens arrived home, Ed sat in the doll chair next to his desk. The doll levitated a number of times in the beginning, then it seemed to fall inert. During the ensuing weeks, however, it began showing upon vicious rooms of the house. When the Warrens were there, had the doll locked up in the outer office building, when they often returned to find it sitting comfortably upstairs in Ed's easy chair. When they opened the main front door, the doll also showed hatred to clergymen who came to the house. In one instance, Father Jason Bradford, a Catholic exorcist, came to the house. Upon seeing the doll seated in a chair, he picked up and said, "You're just a rag doll, Annabelle. You can't hurt anyone," and tossed the doll back in the chair, at which point Ed exclaimed that one thing you better not say. Upon leaving an hour later, Lorraine pleaded to the priest to please be careful driving and call her when he arrived home. Lorraine deserved tragedy for this young priest, but he had to go his way. A few hours later, Father Jason called Lorraine and explained that his brakes had failed and he entered a busy intersection and he was involved in a near fatal accident, destroying his vehicle. This was just one of many such events that occurred over the next few years. The Warrens had a special case built for Annabelle inside the occult museum, which recites this to this day. Since the case was built, Annabelle no longer appeared to move, but she is thought to be responsible for the death of a young man who came to the museum on a motorcycle with his girlfriend. And the young man, after hearing Ed's account of the doll death, went up and began to bang on the case, insisting if the doll can put scratches on people. And then he wanted to also be scratched. Ed said to the young man, "Son, you need to leave," and put him out of the building. And on the way home, the young man and his girlfriend were laughing, making fun of the doll when he lost control of his motorcycle and went head to head into a tree. The young man was killed instantly, but his girlfriend survived and was hospitalized for over a year. When asked what happened, the young man explained that they were laughing about the doll when they lost control of the motorcycle. Ed warns you, do not challenge evil, that no man is more powerful than Satan. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I will have all the pictures of what happened. And yeah, this is the real life tragedy and story of Annabelle. Love y'all. Peace out.